The road to Jericho was a furnace of dry heat and shifting grit. Bartimaeus sat where the dust was thickest, his palms flat against the sun-baked earth. He did not need to see the crowd to know they were there. He felt the rhythmic shuffle of 1,000 sandals vibrating through the ground. The air hung heavy with the smell of sweat and traveling dust. He pulled his hands back, curled his fingers, and pushed himself up to a kneeling position. He tilted his head toward the sound. A surge of voices rose like a tide. He drew a breath that rattled in his chest and shouted,
"Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me!"
A hand slammed into his shoulder, shoving him violently backward into the dirt. A voice hissed from above, "Shut up, old man. Do not disturb the master." A wall of moving bodies that blotted out the sound of his breath. He scrambled to find his balance, but the path was gone. He was left alone in the wake of the passing feet, pressed deep into the debris of the road, while the murmurs of the crowd pulled further away into the distance. Bartimaeus did not retreat. He gripped the rough stones beneath his fingers and hauled himself upright. The bystanders scoffed, a dry, sneering sound that cut through the heat like a blade, but the man on the ground ignored him. He took a breath that swelled his ribs and roared, his voice cracking against the stillness of the afternoon. "Jesus, have mercy on this old man who has no friends and wants only to see." The challenge hung in the air. The bystanders shoved him again, but Bartimaeus held his ground, his chin tilted high, ignoring the weight of the crowd pressing in. He shouted it again, louder, a desperate plea that refused to be buried by the noise of the masses. Then, the rhythm of the road changed. The shuffling feet slowed. The murmur of the crowd fractured and died. A sudden, heavy silence descended upon the path. A few yards ahead, the movement ceased entirely. Jesus stood still. He did not look back, but his voice carried clearly over the hushed group. "Call him," he commanded. The tension in the air snapped. The wall of bodies parted, leaving a clear line of sight toward the man sitting in the dust. Peter stepped out from the formation, his sandals crunching on the gravel as he approached the man in the dust. He gestured toward the quiet figure standing ahead. "Get up, the Lord is calling you." Bartimaeus did not hesitate. He reached up, fingers hooking into the heavy fabric draped over his shoulders, and pulled with every ounce of his remaining strength. The thread groaned, then ripped. He tore the material away and cast it into the dirt, abandoning the only weight he had carried for years. Shaking knees, he lunged forward. A chaotic landscape of protruding stones and loose sand. He took 3 steps, his foot caught, he hit the ground hard, palms scraping against the grit, sharp rocks biting into his skin. He did not wait to regain his balance. He pushed off the ground, fingers clawing for purchase, and continued to crawl. He moved through the parting crowd, ignoring the whispers, driven by the sound of steady breathing ahead. He reached out, his hand trembling, until his fingertips brushed against the coarse hem of a robe. He collapsed fully, forehead pressed into the dust at the feet of Jesus. He lay still, chest heaving against the hard-packed earth. Above him, a voice spoke, low and steady. "What do you want me to do for you?" Feeling the grit against his skin. "My sight, Lord. I want to receive my sight." There was a brief pause, a shifting of weight, and then he felt the sensation of cool, moist earth being pressed firmly against his closed eyelids. It was grounding, heavy, and strangely expectant. Bartimaeus blinked. The darkness that had been his only constant for years began to fracture. It did not fade, it shattered. First, a thin sliver of brilliance pierced the edges of his vision. Then, the gray shadows dissolved, replaced by a sudden, violent rush of color. He gasped, his lungs catching on the intake of air. The world was not silent or flat. It was vibrant, textured, and terrifyingly bright. He pulled his hands back, his fingers trembling, as he traced the lines of faces and the shifting patterns of the sun hitting the ground. The darkness was gone, burned away by the light. Bartimaeus rose to his full height. The world remained sharp, every detail etched into his mind with impossible clarity. He turned, his gaze locking onto the bystander who had once shoved him into the dust. The man stood frozen, his mouth slightly open, eyes darting from the discarded heap of fabric to the man who now stood before him with unwavering focus. Bartimaeus stepped forward, his stride steady, closing the space between them until he forced the man to take a nervous step back. "Did you not see that coming?" "No, but I did." Bartimaeus asked, his voice resonant and deep. He moved past the man, his boots finding firm purchase on the stones. The morning sun hit his face, warming his skin, and he did not squint. He walked toward the horizon with the pace of a man who had finally arrived. He raised his hands, his fingers outstretched to the light, and his voice rang out across the clearing. Look, Jesus made me whole. He looks at the first bystander.
I was watching for a time when life gave me rhyme. All the dreams felt like I had gotten to my ship, but it didn't come in, couldn't win, kept breaking on the waves, trying to find a space and place of mine, but the water kept coming and the pain kept running through an aching heart, looking for forever in a time when the mother kept on praying. On her knees she was saying, Lord, bring him to forever, he's mine. So I kept falling down in transgression in the bowels of his mercy. I kept standing till I could not find a win, and then I dropped down on my knees. I said, please show me a way and I'll stay with you forever, here's my heart. And then it was me, living happy, full of joy, running scrappy, calling out, crying out in the audience of him. So I'm going home, bringing the rear on the phone day and night. Must get right before the heavens trump come calling me in. But I know I win. But I know I win. But I know I win. But I know I win.
In a broken dream, where the world has come to free a wounded heart, in the silent screams, I knew the pain of you had drawn my heart. I wanted to say I'm needing today, but the words just fall apart before me. I wish, oh how it could be only you. In a rainbow's heart, where the beauty of a million lifetimes start, I can come into forever, knowing now you love me, just you, just me. In my heart, all the love feel in my heart makes it all so real. Loving you, loving me eternally. This love is the only love I know. This truth is the life of love in you. And even if I don't know what to do, I know that the love you hold is true. So I breathe it out again. This life, it is all I have to give for you. I wish I had more, you'll live. And even when my world's falling apart, loving you still heals my wounded heart. Forever you are mine. In the lifetimes led by tears and holy visions in my head, my mind